Hey everybody, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Cantankerous Cookery. I'm that grumpy old guy, Ed Doyle, your host. And tonight for our first episode, we're going to do something fishy with my tacos. What we're going to make for you tonight, something really fast, easy, tasty. Anybody can do it, and the whole thing takes no more than 20 minutes to do. Even less if you prepare some of the stuff before you go to work, so when you come home, it's ready to go. And as you can see, we're going to cook a really nice blackened salmon, crunchy, spicy taco. Ingredients are going to be simple. It's just simple flour tortilla, some nice salmon that you're going to blacken very easily in a frying pan. You're going to use some bacon because it's bacon. You're going to use a little bit of guacamole. I use a little bit of feta cheese, and I like mine spicy, like I said. So in my coleslaw, which gives it that nice crunch, I put just a little bit of hot sauce in there. You mix it around, you put that in there, and it is delicious. It goes great with your favorite beer. This recipe makes up to 4. If you don't want 4, I don't really care. Put 2 away or give them to somebody. But if you want more than that, just double up the recipe. It's very easy to do. So let's begin. So to get our fish ready for cooking, we need someone to rub our fish for us. Have somebody else rub your fish, or you can rub your own fish. But you're going to rub it down anyways. And what we did was we made a nice rub. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. And we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to mix that up with our fingers a little bit. If anybody doesn't like your fingers in their spices, tell them too bad. And we're just going to take it and we're just going to sprinkle it on our salmon, just a little bit. And then we're just going to rub our salmon. Yep, yeah, it's smiling. Turn your salmon over and sprinkle the rest on your salmon. Very easy to do, very tasty with just a little bit of spice. And you all know how much I like my spice. Okay, so use up the rest of that spice. There's no sense in throwing it away. It's expensive. And just rub the rest of that right in there. And as you can see, your salmon is all nice and rubbed and ready to be fried. Okay, so what we've done is we've coated the bottom of a nice nonstick pan with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And what I usually do so that I know that it's just ready to put something in, I usually just go to the faucet and I put just a couple little teeny weeny drips of water in there to hear them pop. That way you know that your temperature is just right without having it smoke, and then you're burning your oil and it tastes like crap. So you're going to take your previously rubbed salmon, you're going to lay that right down in there, and we're just going to sear each side. So each side is seared and the meat turns just a little different color. Okay, so as you can see by taking a look at the bottom of this, it has turned a slight different color. Okay, now what we've done naturally is we've sped this up a little bit for you because there'd be nothing more boring than sitting here and watching me cook my fish. But once it's turned the color on one side, you're going to turn it over and you're going to sear the other side. So as you can see there, the color goes about halfway through to where it's changed from a pink to a nice white, and we'll get a nice golden brown crust forming on the outside here from our spices. So we're just going to let that cook through for the other side so that it cooks completely through the fish, because there's nothing worse than the possibility of salmonella in raw fish. And when frying something on the stove in olive oil, it's always good to have a piece of paper towel so you can wipe down your range, because if your wife or your husband is anything like my wife is, she's going to see the mess on the stove and she is going to bitch me out till there's no tomorrow. So just keep wiping that down as you're cooking it. It's a lot easier than doing it once you're all done, or worse yet, leaving it for your significant other to clean. So as you can see, that is cooking nicely right now. We got a nice crisp on the other side too. Again, I like to make sure that it's cooked well, so I'm going to flip it back over just for a second. I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit because we don't want it to burn. And we're just going to keep moving it a little bit. We just want to make sure that it cooks through, but we don't burn it. And you can flip it over again. Now what you can do to make sure if it's cooked, just go into the center, stick your spatula into the center a little bit. It doesn't really matter at this point because we're going to be breaking it apart anyways. And if it breaks evenly like that, you can take a look in the middle. You can see that it's just about cooked. But we're going to let it cook just a little bit longer because we want this to be a nice flaky salmon. Okay, once your salmon is all cooked, you feel good that it's cooked all the way through, you go ahead and turn off your heat. Let's take your salmon off of the heat. Again, like I said, being careful not to burn yourself on the stove. Just wipe it down a little bit so you can make your cleanup later a little bit easier and wipe that down. So now that we've cooked our salmon, as you can see, it's all nice and it's ready to go. We're going to take our salmon and we're actually going to use our fingers. If somebody doesn't like it, do like me, just be grumpy and said, mind your own business. Take your salmon and you're going to just break it up with here. It is a little bit hot. You can wear gloves if you want to, especially if you don't know where your fingers have been. And just break that up in your plate. Nice little pieces like that. You don't want them to be too big, but you don't want them to be too small either, because you really want to be able to taste this. It just smells fantastic and it tastes good too. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to break that apart. Very, very healthy dish too, especially everybody knows that salmon is very, very healthy for you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to break that apart. And we see that we have our nice little flaked pieces of salmon all set here now, ready to go. So we're just going to wipe our hands a little bit from that. And what we're going to do is to give it that little bit of spicy crunch, and I love spice. You're going to find that out with the upcoming episodes. I love spice. So you don't have to do the spicy bits that I do. I like spice to where your ears sweat. So we're going to take just a nice shredded coleslaw. You want to get a coleslaw that isn't too heavy in mayonnaise. Some of them are just kind of swimming in juice. You don't want something like that. Or you can go ahead and make your own. But again, don't forget, this is about a fast, easy, delicious way of cooking for the family or for yourself. So you don't want to go ahead and try getting into making coleslaw and all of that. You can do it, but it's a lot of work, and that's not what this is all about. But we're going to take our nice shredded coleslaw, and we're going to take our hot sauce, my favorite hot sauce, and really you're just going to make it to however you want it. But my suggestion is you want to make it so that there's just enough in there so that when you stir around your coleslaw in the hot sauce, it just gives it just that slight orange or pinkish hue to it. You don't want to soak the coleslaw in the hot sauce. You just want enough in there just so you can taste it. So now what you're going to do is you have taken your nice flour tortillas that you've either heated up, just before you started this, or you can stop here and heat it up now. We heated up ours already. Okay. And with our nice flour tortillas, we're actually going to sit here and do just the simpleness of, we're going to take our salmon and we're just going to line the bottom of our tortilla with the salmon. We're going to take our previously cooked bacon, not pre-cooked. I just cooked it before we started. You can use pre-cooked because, again, this is all about something that's tasty and doesn't take you a lot of time to do. But you're going to put your bacon, just crumble your bacon on there. That's where you're going to come over here and you're going to take a nice dollop of your nice, spicy, crunchy coleslaw and just lay that right on top there. You're going to come over, and if you want to, again, this is your choice. I like it this way. You're going to take some fresh chopped jalapenos, nice and diced, and just put a few of them right on the top for the bite. I love feta cheese, so everything I make is kind of Mediterranean. And I put a little bit of feta cheese on there, just sprinkle that down, and then top it all off with a nice dollop of guacamole right on the top there. It looks delicious. And as you can see, there is our salmon spicy crunchy tacos. Just roll those up and they're ready to eat. Now this will make approximately 4 of these tacos. So if you got more than 4 people you want to feed, or you want to eat more than 4, go ahead and just double up everything that you heard in my recipe. But that's it for today. So I hope you really enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, I don't care. I think it tastes great. And if it tastes good, that's all that matters. We'll see you next time.